Thanks for joining us on ntTV News at noon. I'm Gabby Carden.
And I'm Jack Springer. We have a great show for you this afternoon.
As a pregame ritual, the UNT football players have a team bonding night at a hotel. Late Thursday night into Friday morning, 19 of the players' cars were damaged. Some had their windows busted and some had items stolen from their vehicles. One of the players, tight end Jason Pirtle, tweeted out, quote, "To the person who broke into my car, I don't got AC anyways, so I'm used to driving with my windows down," end quote. This is still an ongoing investigation by the UNT Police Department, and University spokesperson Leanne Gullett asks anyone with more information to contact the UNT Police.
As the U.S. continues to fight the pandemic, children ages 5 to 11 are now able to get vaccinated. According to the Biden administration, they have secured enough supplies to vaccinate 28 million children. Once the administration gets approval from the FDA, more than 25,000 pediatric and primary care offices and pharmacies will have access to vaccines. Additionally, the Biden administration plans to partner with the Children's Hospitals Association, which has over 100 children's hospital systems across the nation. Starting next month, vaccination sites will be available to families through the end of this year. This could result in a decrease in COVID-19 cases across the nation.
Now, along with that good news, we're finally starting to see some changes in the weather from unbearable heat to cooler days, which can be good or bad news depending on your preference.
I'll take it as good news because I don't have to blast the AC all the way to here, all the way to campus anymore. Sydney, how does the forecast look?
Yes, Gabby and Jack, it is definitely feeling cooler due to those high wind speeds, but our temperatures are still pretty high for it being the month of October. Let's go ahead and take a look at our current conditions in Denton. Currently, we are sitting at a nice 78 degrees. It does feel a little bit warmer at 79 with those high wind speeds of 12 miles per hour. Now looking into tonight's conditions, around 6 p.m. it will be 82 degrees and it will feel a little bit cooler at 81 with low wind speeds of 7 miles per hour. Now looking into tomorrow's conditions, the temperature will be 76 and it will feel a little bit warmer at 79 with again low wind speeds of 8 miles per hour. That is it for our first look. Make sure to stay with us for our full weather forecast later in the show. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Sydney. We've got a sneak peek at the I Love Lucy movie called Being the Ricardos. On top of that, Halloween Kills has been killing it. But there's even more happening in the movie world. Here's David Daniel with the Hollywood Minute.
Roll sound. Let's do our show.
I get paid a fortune to do exactly what I love doing.
They got their money's work. Pictures up.
I work side by side with my husband, who is genuinely impressed by me. And all I have to do to keep it is kill for 36 weeks in a row.
The first teaser is out for the I Love Lucy movie, Being the Ricardos, with Javier Bardem as Desi Arnaz and Nicole Kidman as Lucille Ball, including a brief shot of the iconic grape stomping scene. Being the Ricardos, written and directed by Aaron Sorkin, debuts in theaters on December 10th and on Amazon Prime Video December 21st.
A man couldn't have survived that fire.
Michael Myers is still on the rampage, helping Halloween Kills fill theaters with fans of the franchise. And if you thought this movie was scary, star Jamie Lee Curtis says just wait until the follow-up, Halloween Ends.
The last shot of the Halloween Ends movie is going to make people go insane.
Curtis and Michael Myers return in Halloween Ends, due out next October. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
I know I'll be watching the I Love Lucy movie, and I hope y'all found something interesting after that.
We all may sing songs from our favorite artists in the privacy of our own cars from time to time, but this performer wanted to share her voice on the streets of Boston. Not only did she catch the attention of people passing by, she also had an unexpected encounter. CNN's Jean Moose has the story.
A street performer in Boston was crooning all of me when suddenly she got all of him, John Legend.
Loves all of you.
The man whose song she was singing was standing right before her eyes, though at first
I saw a man with a trench coat and a mask step forward. I thought to myself, that looks quite like John Legend, but that couldn't be him.
But then he took his mask off.
I was absolutely stunned.
In town for a concert, Legend was outside Faneuil Hall with his wife Chrissy and his kids, watching part-time singer Radha Rao perform Legend's song, never dreaming he'd be there.
It's definitely a fan favorite, and it's a song I feel so emotional about.
She said her mind went blank, she was nervous, but she kept singing as he nodded encouragement. Anyone who watches The Voice might expect him to wheel around any moment, but when Radha finished,
give it up for Mr. Legend, John Legend. That's a surprise.
Legend reached in his pocket for his wallet, walked over to Radha and gave her a tip and a hug, telling her the song was beautiful.
Give my all to you.
But how much of his all did he give? Could she tell us how big a tip?
I would love to, but I actually don't know.
She just put it in her tip box and continued her set. But the one thing she does know...
So I did give it my all.
Jeannie Mose, CNN, New York.
The video has since gone viral on social media and has been an inspiration for young musicians.
Coming up, Kansas bans conversion therapy for LGBTQ+ youth.
And Denton County Courthouse gets a revamp. Stay tuned for more.
Kansas has banned conversion therapy for LGBTQ+ youth, now increasing the awareness on LGBTQ+ mental health. Perry Village agreed in a vote of 11-1 on Monday that licensed medical or mental health professionals are prohibited from using their practice on minors. Conversion therapy is the process of attempting to change a person's sexual orientation or gender identity. The council came to the conclusion that it does more harm than help, with outcomes of conversion therapy often leading to depression and negatively impacted mental health. It's a win for the LGBTQ+ community, and that it is now banned in one more state.
The House committee investigating the January 6th riots at the Capitol have approved holding Steve Bannon, former chief strategist in the Trump administration, in contempt of Congress. Bannon had previously defied a subpoena that aimed to answer questions regarding the investigation. The House will soon vote on whether to charge Bannon with criminal contempt due to lack of cooperation. Bannon has previously stated he is unable to cooperate until matters of executive privilege are resolved by the courts. The House has since rejected his argument of executive privilege. Bannon could face up to 1 year in prison if the charges are filed.
If you've been to the Denton Square, you've probably noticed the historical courthouse in the middle, but there's a new courthouse in town. Construction on the Denton County Administration Courthouse has recently finished. ntTV's Christine Guevara has more on the latest landmark.
The Denton County Administrative Courthouse is officially open for business. You can find the 4-story building on number 1 Courthouse Drive. I sat down with Denton County Judge Andy Eads to discuss what this new courthouse is all about.
You know, this new courthouse was built so that we could consolidate some of our services over here to this main campus here on Loop 288. It's been a great build out over many years. The voters approved this overall concept of this whole campus in 2008. So we've been working on this project since 2007.
Construction began around the time of the pandemic, causing a delay in completion. But the courthouse was well worth the wait, as it offers many new features for the people of Denton.
Yeah, the way to compare this building to the courthouse on the square is we have expanded public space and meeting space for after hours, civic events, meeting rooms where we could have dinners and seminars and workshops. And also the public will have more opportunities to engage with their government here at the Commissioner's Court with additional seating in our courtroom.
This campus serves as the new home to the offices of the Health Department, Elections and Administration, IT Department, Facilities, Adult Probation, and finally, the Administrative Courthouse. And with the historic courthouse on the square being a heartbeat of civic life for over 100 years, it played a great role in the making of this new building.
For our UNT students, I think it's great that you're here in Denton, and I encourage you to go and check out the courthouse on the square before you leave town, maybe before you graduate. Come check out this new landmark, you know, because if you may be bringing back a future Eagle here to UNT and to Denton County, and they could come check out this courthouse as well.
The official ribbon cutting is next month and will soon be open for all to visit.
Hopefully the weather isn't too cold to go check it out once it's finished.
I agree, and I have a feeling we're going to start layering up jackets sooner than later. Sydney, are those warm temperatures coming to an end?
Yes, Gabby and Jack, the temperatures are definitely starting to feel warm, but they are getting cooler as the weeks go on. Let's go ahead and look at our current conditions across North Texas. So we can see that across North Texas, we are sitting at the mid and high 70s, and in Graham, in Fort Worth, and in Denton, we're all at 78 degrees, which is the warmest point. Now looking at our current conditions across the state, again, we are seeing those similar temperatures with an exception of Amarillo being at 61 and Oklahoma City being at 70 as well. Now let's go ahead and take a look at our 7-day forecast. The week is looking fairly sunny with minimal clouds in sight. Our warmest temperature will be on Saturday with a high of 88 degrees. On the other hand, our chilliest temperature will be tomorrow with a low of 59 degrees. We are expecting no rain, but we will have higher wind speeds, so make sure to pack a light jacket. Again, we are having such a beautiful weekend, so make sure to take advantage of the warm weather while y'all still can. That is it for our full weather forecast. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Sydney. Following a series of previous scandals, a South Carolina lawyer is being accused of embezzling millions from the estate of his deceased housekeeper. CNN's Amara Walker has more.
For the second time in the past month, Alex Murdaugh appeared in court shackled at the wrist and ankles to face another set of charges. This time, he's accused of stealing insurance money following the death of his housekeeper of 25 years, Gloria Satterfield.
Stole money from the very family of the housekeeper that helped raise his kids. This is a crime that we've never seen before.
During his
into this scandal has surfaced other findings which may mean a longer sentence for Alex Murdaugh.
After the break, In-N-Out Burger is not quite living up to its name.
And we have a Denton Eats segment that will satisfy your sweet tooth. Stick with us. Welcome back. An In-N-Out in San Francisco doesn't happen in anymore. The San Francisco location is only allowing takeout and outdoor dining. The city health department requires locations to check vaccine cards for proof of vaccination. The burger chain refused to comply, resulting in their dining restrictions. The location was shut down temporarily last Thursday for not following the mandate. According to the city, In-N-Out was given multiple warnings at the end of September. Inspectors visited the location after receiving a 311 complaint. They returned on October 6th to give them a second chance. A week later, the location was issued a final notice. In-N-Out has stated that they disagree with the mandate and believe that it is government overreach. The company did post the required signs about vaccinations, however. They did not make employees enforce the mandate.
Nut allergies, dietary restrictions, and other road bumps can make it difficult to find tasty treats. ntTV's Madison Myers wanted to help those who have this challenge and have just found the perfect place to fulfill your need for a sweet and healthy treat. Let's hand it over to Sydney to tell us more.
Thanks, Gabby. The Cookie Crave is a cookie shop that specializes in nut-free and vegan cookies. Although the Cookie Crave opened during the heart of COVID-19, it has received a great deal of support from the Denton community.
Emergency visits because of that and my love for sweets.
Veronica Powell created the Cookie Crave to accommodate her severe nut allergies while satisfying her crave for sweets. The shop began by offering nut-free flavors, but she has expanded the menu to cater to other dietary restrictions.
My son, who turned 6 yesterday, he has a tolerance to gluten and dairy, and so they kind of just made the household dairy-free, gluten-free, and nut-free.
A big hit amongst customers is the white chocolate snickerdoodle, but Powell is always experimenting in the kitchen.
Thanksgiving's coming up, Christmas coming up. We have blueberry crisp coming out. We have white chocolate peppermint coming out. Just last month we just released our caramel apple.
It hasn't always been easy for Powell to come up with flavors that were safe and delicious.
You know, I'm not great at making gluten-free pie crust, and I haven't found a great gluten-free pie crust. So I wouldn't make a sweet potato pie and a gluten-free vegan cookie. There's only a couple of different weird ones we throw in there that I wouldn't make.
Although it opened during the pandemic, the Cookie Crave has received an abundance of support from the Denton community and other local businesses.
Even other businesses have been very supportive. In the past, we've teamed up with yoga. We've done yoga here, and several other things. With cheese shops, and we've done different baskets. So I think the support's been great.
Thanks, Madison. I'm going to need a sugar rush from those cookies to keep up with the whirlwind of change happening in college sports right now. James, can you clear the air for us?
Thank you, Jack. When we come back, the college sports world has been turned upside down with now UNC in the talks of switching conferences. Basketball is back, and we're getting closer and closer to the World Series.
Oh, hey, didn't see you there.
past few months have been absolute chaos as far as college sports realignment, and now UNT is being thrown in the mix. To help break it down, we have a graphic as things have been moving fast. Here, we see that there's a tier system going on, with the SEC at the very top with schools such as Alabama and LSU. The SEC is expanding to 16 schools by adding Texas and Oklahoma, and to help cope with the loss, the Big 12 is poaching 3 schools from the AAC, Cincinnati, UCF, and Houston. Now the AAC is in dire need of a rebuild as they're seeking to expand to 14 teams. Now 6 teams from the CUSA have submitted applications to join the AAC, those schools being UAB, FAU, UTSA, UNT, Charlotte, and Rice. This is a developing story as the AAC is expected to send each school a formal letter detailing the terms of expansion by the end of the week. Last night marked the tip-off of the NBA's 75th season. To commemorate the season, the NBA is releasing a list of the 75 greatest players of all time. One of those players announced so far was Mavs legend Dirk Nowitzki. Last night, we saw the Milwaukee Bucks take down the Brooklyn Nets and the Golden State Warriors shine against the Lakers. Tomorrow night is the Mavericks tip-off as they take on the Atlanta Hawks in Atlanta at 6:30. The Mavs are seeking to continue their winning streak as the team achieved their first undefeated preseason in franchise history. Here in North Texas, we typically focus on our Rangers. However, the Astros have been absolutely killing it lately and have another chance at a World Series title. Last night was Game 4 of the ALCS, and things were neck and neck between the Astros and Red Sox until the 9th inning, where the Astros came in hot, scoring 7 runs to win the game 9-2. The series is now tied at 2 games apiece. Game 5 is tonight at 4 p.m. The winner of the series will advance to the World Series to play either the Atlanta Braves or the Los Angeles Dodgers. That's all I have. Back to y'all at the desk.
Thanks for those updates, James. We have an out-of-state story that is sure to make you smile. A blind street vendor in Phoenix, Arizona is overcoming challenges to impact his community and help his family. CNN's Liliana Soto has more.
At the intersection of 75th Avenue and Thomas, when the light turns red, it's go time. But only for Marco Cepeda, whose business relies on traffic. Marco is legally blind. He's been making a means for his family selling brooms and mops on this West Phoenix sidewalk for more than 2 years.
The green one, I prefer to sell something instead of asking money.
And the community notices his work ethic, stepping up even during the pandemic.
You feel so good, especially when somebody comes to you and says, okay, you know, I admire you because you work hard.
He sure does, pulling his cart for 3 miles, walking up and down the sidewalk for hours, making time to post videos on social media to promote his small business. He does it all because blindness, he says, should never define you.
Blindness doesn't mean that you cannot do anything. You are human. That's basically what it is. And you are the same as others. You can compete with anybody.
He's a small business owner and a father of 5.
The oldest is 17, then the 13-year-old girl, 11-year-old girl, 5-year-old girl, and 2 years old.
You don't have a TV?
No. Well, I do, but I don't watch it. I just listen it.
He's not only proud to be able to provide for his family, an ex-wife who's also blind, but also to be a very special part of West Phoenix, a community he deeply cares about.
Have a great one. Even though you don't think that there's kindness right now, there's a lot of people who has kindness right now, especially with this pandemic thing.
He says to never be afraid of change.
In this world, changes always are good. And not because you're blind or not blind, you cannot do things. Nothing stops you to do what you need to do.
In West Phoenix, I'm Liliana Soto, ABC 15 Arizona.
Thank you for watching ntTV News at noon.
Join us again tomorrow for more coverage from North Texas Television.
I really got to try out this good.